Entrepreneurial Workshop, I Play. Our presenter here is Anthony Peterson. Mr. Peterson is a program evaluator at a private for-profit research-based evaluation firm. He earned his master's degree in organizational leadership from Gonzaga University and is a Central alumnus.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here in front of you. I graduated from Central Washington. It's crazy. My first conference that I've ever done was the second annual Center for Leadership and Community Engagement. Back then it was CEO. But today I have for you the Entrepreneurship Workshop, I Play. I Play stands for Internship Preparation and Leadership Academy for Young Adults. Mouthful. Presenting the I for Growth framework, Anthony Peterson, and the LCDI's Leadership and Career Development Institute. Before we all get started, I like to do icebreakers. I'm not sure if you guys do, but we're going to do it anyways. So it's simple icebreaker. You can open up your folder. Everybody has a folder, and if you don't have a pen, there's some on the table. So you can flip to page number 2. Can you guys name off some of your games that you've listed? Pokemon? Pokemon, all right. Is that still around?
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh, man. All right, what else?
Monopoly.
Monopoly. I knew I was going to get Monopoly. What else? Twister? Oh, man. Twister. The Game of Life. All right. Any others? Hide and go seek.
Bingo.
Bingo. Any other ones? You guys are going old school.
Jenga. Jenga right there. Our last one.
Any other games?
Spider Solitaire.
Cards Against Humanity.
What is it?
Cards Against
Cards Against Humanity, all right. And I'll take one more because I have bad handwriting, as you can see, and I'm getting off the board. Cards Against Humanity.
Poker.
Poker. The point of that little icebreaker warm exercise was to get familiar with the term ambiguity. Alright? In my instructions, I didn't really give you too much detail. There's going to be times when, especially when you first, you have that light bulb moment, oh, I want to, start this business. There might be, where do I start? So you just throw out random, you have a topic, you throw out random terms, and then you begin to deduce those terms down. Building a tolerance for ambiguity is critical in entrepreneurship. Do that quick icebreaker to get you guys familiar with ambiguity and let you guys know that it's okay to be ambiguous in your pursuit for entrepreneurship. All right? Think big and deduce down. This next exercise is called When I Grow Up, I Want to Be. All right? The reason why we do this is because many of you Central Washington students, college alum, we're trained to study through our whole entire life. We're trained to fit a specific model student in the preparation to get a job to work for someone else. We're trained to follow rules. We're trained to sit down in class, we're trained to come on time, we're trained to do homework, we're trained to do all these different things. But we're not, there's really no formal training out there to take us to the next level. And that was one of my passions and purposes for creating this framework. There are more loans given for people to go to school, which is great, than for people to start their own business. Once you go to school, you get funneled into maybe a lot of business majors in here, marketing, accounting, finance, whatever it may be, HR. You get a job, you stay in that job maybe 20 years. Not too much for us younger generation. We typically move every 3 to 4 years. But again, you're jumping from job to job trying to really find your place within the career track that you went to school for. So I really want you guys to get in the mindset of where are you going to be at in 15 years? Do you guys think about that? What is your 10-year plan? What is your 5-year plan? Is that even established? You guys have plans?
Yeah.
15-year plan? What's your 10-year plan?
To be a top-level senior cybersecurity analyst.
Mm-hmm. Working for somebody else?
No, whether it be myself or somebody else.
Okay, great. Well, a lot of young people don't think that far ahead of the game. Especially in college, they're just trying to make it, out of the class, or even make it, or try to pass the class, trying to pass a test rather. But we got to start thinking bigger, seeing the bigger picture. And to do so, in this activity, I want you to kind of rediscover your initial goals when you were young. I know when I was at the age 4, I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to play for the University of Michigan, play basketball for the University of Michigan. University of Michigan. That's when the Fab Five first came out. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but they really changed the landscape of basketball. They had attitudes. They were the first ones to introduce long shorts to the court. All right. All right. So thank you, Fab Five. But I had goals at that age, and then over time they evolved. So I want you to dig deep within yourself and write down your career goal that you had from birth to age 4, then from kindergarten to 5th grade, then from 6th grade to 8th grade, then from 9th grade to 12th grade, then post high school to the present. All right, so can I have a volunteer read off their list? Thank you.
Birth to age 4, I wanted to be a princess. Kindergarten to 5th grade, still wanted to be a princess, but more thinking of being a teacher. 6th grade to 8th grade, teacher, kind of deciding, not really sure. High school, really no idea what I wanted to do, but then after high school, I found the degree here of recreation management, and I really liked it and following that.
So what does that mean?
It's like the YMCA or a pool or Parks and Rec.
That's great. We got to narrow that down. We got to define it. All right, so that you can take those skills and then establish, if you want to do so, establish your route to on your own. So I created this framework. I for growth, inspiration, who you are, intention, why you do, intelligence, what you have, information, what you gain, implementation is what you do. With this framework, your whole idea, your entrepreneurial focus should be who you are in a business. All right? Your life, your passions, your desires, everything should influence your pursuits in business. So we're not going to go through each one in depth because I want to focus more on actually developing a pre-business plan. But we'll talk about a few of them. So if you look at page 3 on the bottom, it talks about what inspiration is, some of the synonyms for inspiration. The act of breathing. All right? What really sustains you and gives you life? Those are things that you should think about when you want to start a business. What do I really want to do? What really motivates me in the morning? A lot of people I see on Facebook and social media, oh my gosh, it's Monday. Oh, I can't wait till Friday. Oh, and then it's Monday again. Do you want to do that for 10 years? that is not giving you life. That is destroying you. The job that you pursue should set you up for the business that you love. A lot of people settle out of college for any type of job. Okay, I need to make money. I need to start paying back loans. 6 months comes, I need to start paying back loans. So they work at McDonald's per se. You could have done that 4 years ago without loans. My point is, what you do should really, what you pursue, what you build, what your organization that you're in, it should really drive you. It should drive you. You should be able to use your creativity. You should be able to, it should be something that tugs at your emotions. You should be connected to. A lot of jobs that I had in my life, prior to knowing what I'm going to do, it didn't pull up my emotions in a positive way. It made me mad. It made me, dang, it's work. It was just work. It wasn't a career focus. Think about the influence, a compelling force that determines the actions, behaviors, or opinions of an individual. What or who has the power to change your behavior or mindset? What can't, yes, you do, but what opportunity can really get you going to class every day?
Passion.
Your passion. But if there's not a end road, if there's not the light at the end of the tunnel, you're just going through the motions. You're going to school because somebody told you should. All right? So, inspiration, who you are, should drive what you do. Your intentions, your purpose, why you do. Can somebody tell me their purpose for going to college? What was their purpose?
To be able to provide for my kids and give them the life that they deserve.
Okay. Provide what?
The ability not to be homeless and have to worry. That's my biggest driver for going to school.
Okay.
To get proof of the job I already know.
Okay. That's good. Well, at least you have the in and out in mind already. So, the reason that's some of why I think it's definitely important that we develop and learn to write our own way as far as creating a business for ourselves. Because there isn't company loyalty. I mean, businesses are now starting to think about providing benefits to their part-time employees. And even so, with different legislation, that's not even an option anymore. So, multi-level marketing has increased because a lot of people don't want to work for, an agency out of college that they could have worked for without college. So, you have to develop the end route sooner rather than later. I mean, that's what I promote in the Eye for Growth. Because if I knew what I've known back when, I probably would have started a business while I was in high school and functioned through college. I would do what master's programs do now, executive master's programs. Apply everything you're working to school. I would have done that in my 4-year degree and wouldn't have needed a master's degree. So, I do think the capacity is critical, but I think it will keep you there. So information is what you gain, and implementation is actually what you do once you have all that kind of culmination and you implement your plan. All right, facting your story, doing a self-assessment. On this entrepreneurial journey, you will find it difficult to persuade others if you are not an expert in your field, or if you cannot prove that you are an expert in your field. So, what will separate you from your company? What will separate your company from the competitors? What will keep you focused on the bigger picture? What will allow you to sustain and persist through tough times? So this phase of the workshop is twofold. You'll determine whether or not your college and career pursuits are aligned with your passions and aspirations, and then you'll initiate the entrepreneurship process based on efficacy, self-efficacy, all right, your value, worth, and ability, experience, and education, the 3 E's. Your self-worth, what really drives you, your belief in your own ability to do something, how driven you are, self-motivated, the motivators, your experiences, like the gentleman mentioned. Your experiences will help you develop your passions, but you need to continue in that direction instead of getting veered off somewhere by somebody who told you should try something else for the money or for this X, Y, and Z, or your girlfriend or boyfriend. I mean, it happens. And then the education, the formal knowledge and informal knowledge gained. Those 3 gears work together to help you establish your own business. At this time, on page 7, I want to survey your efficacy, your experiences, and your education. So please write down all of the things in your life that are of worth and that drive you. Experience, same format. Write down all the experiences that you've gained over the course of your life that resulted from your passions and drive. Or you can summarize. And then lastly, write down all of the formal and informal education and credentials that you obtained or achieved as a result of life experiences and passions. All right, we'll move on to the business plan inquiry. So, a lot of this stuff is hypothetical. And that's okay. We want to start digging deeper. So how would you describe your business in only 1 paragraph? So many of you in here are at least considering the option to one day develop your own business or own your own business. So what would that business look, how would you describe that in 1 paragraph? Who will buy your product or service? What advice do you need and how will you get it? This is on page 8. Where would your business be located? Would it be an online business? Would it be an actual structure? And do you guys know how much money is needed to start your business? Do you know?
Yeah.
How much?
The equipment costs about $3,000 and everything else is just digital computer.
Good. Let's take it one step forward. Okay, what are you going to do with the experience that you're doing at your job? Oh, I don't know. Why don't you figure it out? So if anything, I want this workshop to change your mindset about your ability at your job and how much more you can do outside of your job, if that makes sense. So if you're just going through the motions at your job, that's a problem. Step it up. Start talking to your supervisor, start talking to your manager, start talking to the principal. This is a great book. I read it at Central. It's greater than yourself. It's talking about, expanding yourself, give yourself, but at the same time, it takes somebody on the other side, meaning an employee, to want to pursue that, right? I can't expect my supervisor to expand themselves and give themselves to me if I'm not asking for it, if I'm not reaching out to them for the knowledge to be able to get to where they're at. Everybody work, does everybody work in here? Do you want to be where your supervisor is? Do you want to be where your manager is? Do you want to be in that position? I have one. Does everybody want to be in that position?
I want to be in the office next to the CEO.
Because if you don't, then you need to seriously think about, am I in the right fit? I mean, many of you are in college jobs, so I understand. But even afterwards, you know, you really, if that's not the goal, then you might not be the best fit long term. All right. The next one is hypothetically speaking. So, what aspect of your business would you start if you acquired $10,000 right now? If I just slap you with a $10,000 check, not literally, but you know, slap it on the. What part of your business would you start? With the skills you have now, what part of your business could you start? Those of you still in school, what could you do now to influence the development of your business? Also working a part-time and full-time job. How could you implement a business plan and then later make it your own franchising business for the purposes of expansion? These should be questions that you ask yourself weekly. If you're serious about starting your own business, that should be on the forefront of your mind. All right. If you don't have time to fill this out now, feel free to do so later. And then on the back, I really encourage you guys to, you don't have to use this, but develop some sort of timeline. All right? If you're serious about starting your own business, become an entrepreneur, whether it's franchising a company or being a consultant, whatever it may be, write it down, put it on a timeline. Timelines are so effective, all right? Because they hold you accountable. Set a goal, didn't meet it. You gotta revise it and try it again.